It was 4:30 p.m. on a busy Saturday afternoon when Katt Williams heard the announcement that would change the next 6 hours of his life. He was walking through North Park Center Mall in Dallas, killing time before his evening show at the Majestic Theater, when the mall's PA system crackled to life. "Attention shoppers, we have a code, Adam. We're looking for a missing child named Isabella Martinez, age 6, wearing a pink Disney princess dress and white sneakers. If you see this child, please contact mall security immediately." Katt stopped walking. He'd heard these announcements before in malls across the country, and they always made his stomach drop. As a father himself, he knew that somewhere in this crowded building, parents were experiencing their worst nightmare. The announcement repeated twice more as Katt continued through the mall, but something about it stuck with him. Maybe it was the specific details, the pink princess dress, the white sneakers, that made the missing child seem real and not just another security announcement. 20 minutes later, as he was leaving a bookstore, Katt heard a sound that made him stop dead in his tracks. It was a child crying, not the typical mall tantrum crying, but the deep, terrified sobs of someone who was truly lost and scared. Following the sound, Katt found himself in a quiet corridor near the mall's service areas, away from the main shopping traffic. There, sitting behind a large decorative planter, was a little girl in a pink Disney princess dress and white sneakers. "Hey there, princess," Katt said softly, approaching slowly so as not to startle her. "Are you Isabella?" The little girl looked up with tear-streaked cheeks and nodded. "My name is Katt. Your mama and daddy are looking for you, sweetheart. The whole mall is trying to help find you." "I can't find my mummy," Isabella sobbed. "I was following the pretty music, and then I got lost." Katt knelt down to her level, noticing that she was clutching a small stuffed unicorn. "How long have you been sitting here, baby girl?" "I don't know. A really long time. I'm scared." "I know you're scared, but you're safe now. We're going to find your mummy together, okay?" Isabella nodded, wiping her nose with the back of her hand. Katt pulled out his phone to call mall security, but Isabella grabbed his arm. "Don't leave me," she pleaded. "I'm not going anywhere, princess. I'm just going to call the nice security people so they can tell your mummy we found you." As Katt dialed mall security, he kept one hand on Isabella's shoulder to reassure her. "This is Katt Williams. I found Isabella Martinez, the missing child. We're in the corridor near the service entrance by Macy's. Yes, she's safe. About 6 years old, pink dress, white sneakers. No, she's not hurt, just scared." While they waited for security to arrive, Katt sat down next to Isabella on the floor. "So Isabella, tell me about your unicorn. What's his name?" "Her name is Sparkles. My daddy gave her to me for my birthday. Sparkles is beautiful. I bet she's been taking good care of you while you were lost." "She was, but I was still scared. There were so many people and they were all really big. I understand big places can be scary when you're little, but you did the right thing by staying in one place. That made it easier for us to find you." A few minutes later, mall security arrived, followed closely by a frantic couple who Katt immediately recognized as Isabella's parents. The woman, who appeared to be in her early 30s, was clearly distraught, while the man beside her looked like he'd been running through the entire mall. "Isabella," the woman cried, rushing forward and scooping her daughter into her arms. "Oh, baby, we were so worried." "Mommy," Isabella clung to her mother as if her life depended on it. "I got lost, but the nice man found me." The father, tears in his eyes, turned to Katt. "Thank you. I don't know how to thank you enough. We've been searching for over an hour." "No thanks needed," Katt said, standing up. "I'm just glad she's safe." "Are you Katt Williams?" the mother asked, recognizing him now that the immediate crisis had passed. "The comedian?" "I am." "And you are?" "Maria Martinez. This is my husband, Carlos. And this is our daughter, Isabella." "Well, Isabella is a very brave little girl. She stayed calm and stayed in one place, which is exactly what she should have done." Carlos shook Katt's hand firmly. "Seriously, we can't thank you enough. When we realized she was missing, it was the worst feeling in the world." "I can imagine. How did you get separated?" Maria wiped her eyes. "We were in the Disney store, and Isabella saw one of those street performers outside playing music. She loves music and dancing. I turned around for literally 2 seconds to pay for something, and when I looked back, she was gone. I followed the pretty music," Isabella added, still holding tightly to her mother. "But then I couldn't find the music anymore, and I couldn't find you. The performer was at the other end of the mall," Carlos explained. "She must have followed the sound through the corridors and gotten completely turned around." As they talked, Katt noticed that Isabella kept looking at him shyly from her mother's arms. "What is it, princess?" he asked. "Are you really famous?" she whispered. Katt laughed. "Some people think so. But you know what's more important than being famous?" "What?" "Being kind to people. Being brave when you're scared. And always staying close to your mommy and daddy in big places like this." Isabella nodded solemnly. "I won't get lost again." "I know you won't. You're a smart girl." As they prepared to leave, Carlos pulled Katt aside. "Mr. Williams, I need you to know something. My wife has been crying for the past hour, blaming herself, thinking the worst. You didn't just find our daughter, you saved our whole family from a nightmare." "Carlos, I'm a father too. I did what any parent would hope someone would do for their child. Not everyone would have taken the time to sit with her, to comfort her, to make her feel safe. You could have just called security and walked away. But then I would have missed getting to meet Isabella and Sparkles," Katt said with a smile. As the family prepared to leave, Isabella wriggled out of her mother's arms and ran back to Katt. "Mr. Katt, will you come to my birthday party? I'm going to be 7 in 2 weeks. Katt knelt down to her level again. "You know what, princess? I would love to come to your birthday party, but I travel a lot for work, so I might not be able to be there in person. But I'll tell you what, I'll make sure you get a very special birthday present." "Really?" Maria approached with tears in her eyes. "Mr. Williams, you don't have to." "I want to," Katt interrupted gently. "Isabella and I are friends now, right, princess?" Isabella nodded enthusiastically. 2 weeks later, a large package arrived at the Martinez home. Inside was a custom-made princess costume that looked exactly like the one Isabella had been wearing the day she got lost, along with a matching outfit for Sparkles the unicorn. There was also a children's book about a brave little princess who helps other children when they're scared, and a note that read, "To Isabella, the bravest princess I know. Remember, kindness is the most important superpower. Love, your friend Katt Williams." But the story didn't end there. 6 months later, Katt was back in Dallas for another show when he received a call from Carlos Martinez. "Mr. Williams, I hope you remember us. Isabella is the little girl you found in the mall." "Of course I remember Isabella. How is she's great. But I'm calling because something incredible has happened. Isabella has been telling everyone at school about the day you found her, and her teacher entered her story in a local essay contest about heroes in the community. That's wonderful. And the prize is a scholarship fund for her college education. But more than that, she's been volunteering with the local police department's child safety program, helping them teach other kids what to do if they get lost. Isabella is teaching other children. Every Saturday she goes to the community center and tells kids her story. She shows them Sparkles and explains how staying calm and staying in one place helped you find her. The police department says she's their most effective teacher because kids relate to her. 3 months after that call, Katt was invited to speak at a child safety event in Dallas. When he arrived, he was surprised to find Isabella on the program as a fellow speaker. Now 7 years old and more confident than ever, Isabella took the microphone and addressed an auditorium full of parents and children. "Hi everyone, my name is Isabella Martinez, and this is Sparkles," she began, holding up her unicorn. "I want to tell you about the day I got lost and how a very nice man helped me." For the next 10 minutes, Isabella told her story with the poise of someone much older, explaining how she had gotten separated from her parents and how Katt had found her. "Mr. Katt taught me that when something scary happens, there are still good people who will help you," she concluded. "And now I want to help other kids feel safe too." The auditorium erupted in applause, and Katt found himself wiping away tears. When it was his turn to speak, Katt began by calling Isabella back to the stage. "Ladies and gentlemen, I've performed in front of thousands of people, but I've never had a harder act to follow than Isabella Martinez," he said. "This young lady teaches us something important, that courage isn't about not being scared. It's about what you do when you are scared. He looked down at Isabella, who was beaming with pride. Isabella, you were lost for an hour, but you've spent the last year making sure other kids never feel as alone and scared as you did that day. That's not just brave, that's heroic. After the event, the Martinez family invited Katt to dinner at their home. As they sat around the kitchen table, Isabella showed him her room, which was now decorated with certificates from the police department and letters from children she'd helped. "Mr. Katt," she said, "do you remember what you told me about kindness being the most important superpower?" "I do. I think you were right. Every time I help another kid, I feel like a real superhero." "You are a real superhero. Isabella, you turned something scary into something helpful for other people." As Katt prepared to leave that evening, Carlos walked him to his car. "You know, Mr. Williams, we've never talked about what would have happened if you hadn't found Isabella that day. We don't need to think about that, Carlos. You found her. She's safe. But here's what I've realized over the past year. You didn't just find our daughter. You found something in her that she didn't even know was there. This confidence, this desire to help others, that came from the way you treated her that day." "How do you mean?" "You talked to her like she mattered, like her feelings were important, like she was capable of being brave. Most adults would have just comforted her and handed her off to security, but you saw something special in a scared 6-year-old, and now she's helping hundreds of other children." 5 years later, Isabella Martinez, now 12, is still volunteering with the Child Safety Program. She's also started a YouTube channel where she and Sparkles teach kids about safety in fun, engaging ways. The channel has over 100,000 subscribers and has been featured on national news programs. Every year on the anniversary of the day she got lost, Isabella sends Katt a video update on her life and her volunteer work. In her most recent video, she announced that she wants to become a child psychologist when she grows up. "I want to help kids the way Miss Katt helped me," she said in the video. "He showed me that even when you're scared and lost, there are good people who will take care of you, and now I want to be one of those good people too. Because sometimes getting lost is just the first step to finding exactly where you're supposed to be. And sometimes the people we help end up helping more people than we ever could on our own."